Good afternoon. My name is Samantha Bean, and I am standing before you today to discuss the matter of how to play volleyball. This sport is offered to kids as young as elementary all the way up to college students, and sometimes even the Olympics. Today I will be discussing the rules and regulations, the steps, how it is performed and played, and the additional benefits that someone receives for their personal health. Volleyball is a non-invasive sport with a net between two composing teams, each with 6 members on each side. There are both offensive and defensive tasks for each team, and a game may result in winning or losing points, with a total of 25 points per match. As stated in the Strength and Power for Volleyball article titled, Basic Volleyball Rules, on January 1st of this year, the author says, whether you're a coach, athlete, parent, fan, or just a recreational player, it's a good idea to be familiar with the basic volleyball rules. Beginning with the first rule, there are 6 players on each side with a total of 2 teams. On each side, there comprises of 3 front row players and 3 back row players. Statistics show that the front row players are generally tall and the back row players are generally short. With a back row player, there is also a libero, which is the designated passer for each team. Some teams have this, some teams do not. Although these are the typical sizes for players for front and back row, it is not a rule or regulation required to be a certain height to play this sport. Another rule put in place is that each team can only touch and hit the ball 3 times on their side before it goes over the net. This will result in an ongoing game with a continuous ball cycle. In a sports article titled Volleyball Court Dimensions, posted on June 18th of this year, the author states that the boundary lines mark the perimeter of the court, the end lines mark the length of the court, and the sidelines mark the width of the court. The boundary lines show that the ball falls inside of the rectangle, and if it does, a point is rewarded to the other team. If the ball falls outside, the receiving team who let the ball fall outside of the rectangle does receive a point. Lastly, I will discuss the rotation cycle. Volleyball has a regulation that each time a team does win a point, or before they start a serve, a serving team must rotate clockwise. If a player does move out of the designated spot before a person serves, they will receive a violation, and it will result in a lost point. As stated in the article titled, 4 Steps to Proper Volleyball Setting by Coach G Active Volleyball Community. These 4 steps I will explain are essential in the basic fundamentals of not only the setting position, but all positions on the court. The first step is positioning. This is where a player gets under the ball in time and faces their body squared up to the target. The second step I will discuss is footwork. This is the movement of a player placing their weight from one foot to the other. The third step I will discuss today is striking. When a player forcefully strikes a ball towards the floor on the opponent's side of the net. This person waits for the setter to set them close to the net, approaches the ball, jumps, and what volleyball terms call this is a spike. The final step is a follow-through. This is the direction of the intended opponent's side, where a swing is portrayed downward while also avoiding the net, which will receive a point if it is executed correctly. Although there are many rules, regulations, and steps that go into the sport of volleyball, there are also additional benefits of playing. This could be an increase and an enhance of fitness. Volleyball improves muscle strength and overall tone of your body through the activities and the practice a player goes through, which strengthens your upper body, arms, shoulders, legs, and abdominals. Not only does it improve physical strength, but becoming great requires dedicated training that includes things such as sprints, weights, lifting, conditioning, and many other training skills. According to Athletico's physical therapy article titled, Why Play Volleyball? On August 14th of 2012, Athletico says, volleyball improves hand-eye coordination, reflexes, and balance. Today I have discussed the basics of how to play the sport of volleyball. This game teaches people not only great life lessons, but also great communication skills that people can take on with them to their life and even into their careers. It also helps a person's physical endurance, which may help them live longer and be better in shape overall. I have included the steps needed in order to play this game effectively, and I hope that outside viewers have a better perspective and understanding on the rules and the regulations, the positive benefits, and the most basic steps needed to perform the sport of volleyball. Thank you so much for listening, and this concludes my how-to speech of knowledge.